The interesting stuff nowadays is to innovate, to come with new ideas, start something, do something. It's so easy. They always think in this way. US, then so-called first-tier countries like UK, Germany. Then second-tier countries, which would be markets which are huge, but not the economical power is not so big. Spain, for example, Italy, China. China is a special beast by its own. And only after they have covered these existing countries or whatever, they might be thinking about countries like Czech, Croatia, and stuff. And for example, Croatia is very small comparing to Czech. Czech is very good because the size of 10 million. It's not too much, but it's something. The economical power is pretty strong compared to Poland and other countries. And so usually, if you build something here, and somebody will buy it, for example, for the franchise. But I don't think that's the interesting stuff. The interesting stuff nowadays is to innovate, to come with new ideas, start something, do something. It's so easy. It's so freaking easy, If you, 10 years ago, you didn't have a distribution. Even if you start a website, nobody would knew about it because there was no way how to go to news.com, which was the main source of information about internet, and let Wall Street Journal write about it. Or how to get, the classic example of Vochoska Games, Bohemia Interactive, one of the best developers of games around the world. But it took them 10 years to get into these international distribution networks. Nowadays, if you do something on iPhone, iPad, you do an application, you don't need to know anything special. You just wrap it, put it there. If it's good, it just flies, You can use Facebook as a distribution, It's so easy to distribute today. You can use Google and AdWords, to get traffic to your site. If you do it wisely and if you do supreme product, people will just speak about it and it will just go. I don't know, the guys who created Machinarium. Machinarium is a Czech game. They've been working on the game for 3 years, and they launched it this year on iPad. And Machinarium became one of the most downloaded games ever. And there were some weeks that Machinarium was more downloaded game than Angry Birds, which is just. And these guys didn't put $1 single into advertising. So it's a supreme product. I don't say that it holds true for every product. There are different categories of products. Some of them spread virally, some of them don't. But even if you create something which doesn't spread virally, still you have these great distribution platform at hand. And also there's second thing, the startup scene in Czech Republic, I am talking about internet, is just exploding. 10 years ago there was no one who would put money into your project when you were starting, you were a student. Today there's a huge network of angels like myself. We search for passionate people, we search for passionate products, and we just invest in people. Then there is a second level of financing, which is internet funds, like Ondra Bartoš and his Credo Ventures, and if you do this and if you have great product, you are very passionate about it can go. And to be honest, the age is of no importance. 2 examples, 3. One of the most interesting apps on the iPhone market is done by 16-year-old guy. Everybody says that Facebook is has overrun all social networks. Every other social network is dying. Well, meanwhile, there is a social network in the US which is called My Yearbook, which was started 3 or 4 years ago, so 4 years after Facebook. And it was started by 18 or 17-year-old girl. And this My Yearbook already has 50 million users and still growing, So you have to know your audience, you have to know your product, and anything's possible. And from Czech, you might have remember the guy who's called Honza Řežáb. He was the youngest entrepreneur of the year. At the age of 16 or something, he started a company called Redboss with mobile ringtones and stuff. And even though Redboss didn't work out, he started a new company, which is called Social Bakers, and nowadays it's the largest platform on the internet which measures social engagement, social interactivity of your users on Facebook. And maybe my last example of young people who actually do something and are from Czech and are really great stars is the guy who's called Pepa Průša. This is the guy who is from Vysočina, he's from a small town. And when he was 18 years old, before he came to Prague even, he hacked iPhone, and what he created was the car control device. So you could control a small car using your iPhone. It was virally so successful that Oh Really, which is like one of the largest publishers of books about internet, about computers, it gave him the full chapter in Oh Really book at the age of 18 years to write about this cool stuff.